Okay, I got the etudes put together. I'll explain some stuff you can do. So, just assuming you don't know anything about some of these Guitar Pro features, let's take a look at some stuff. So, here we have all three panels open. A lot of times, especially when I make these videos, I will turn off all three panels. Things fit better in this recording software. Now, those two panels are useful to have open so you can see, how your note duration and all that stuff on the left, song information on the right. But the important panel today or this week is going to be the bottom one. So looking down here, we got the three different tracks. So there's your guitar, you got your bass, and drums as well this time. So turn off the count in and the metronome on the Guitar profile if it's on when you have it. The reason why, the drums are your count in. So the drums are going to do that for you. Now, what I like to do when something like this is happening, this way I can just focus on the important stuff. I will hide the bass and the drums. So if you don't know how to do that, basically this little thing right here, click it. Oh, I gotta make some adjustments there. But here's another thing you can do. So let's say you have a tab that looks like this and you want to change how many bars are on the line. Hold Control, Alt, and D. So that's Control plus Alt plus the letter D. And this stuff comes up. So what we can do here is, so the minus sign will decrease the amount of bars up here. And then right here we got the plus sign that will increase the amount of bars. So I want 4 bars per line, so I just set it like that. And then you can kind of size how things look at that point too if you want. Anyway, that's the main thing we wanted right there. So to get rid of all this stuff, same way you brought it up. Control plus Alt plus the letter D. Control Alt D. So yeah, once you just have that up there, it's a lot cleaner to read. But if you wanted to see everything else, you can either click that thing again to turn all the tracks back on, or you can click on the individual ones as well. So that's what the drums are doing, that's what the bass is doing, and that's our main concern right now. So save that, close those panels, and let's get back to the usual view. Right, there we go. Okay. Oh, I forgot one thing. So another thing to do here to make this easier to practice. Now, the usual working it up in fives, if you do that, I would do maybe just that first section the same way we did last night. And just work that up. Let's see, so you got up to 155 on this. If you're going to work it up, I would work the highlighted portion up to 155 again, and then learn the rest. But basically what's happening here is, well actually let me get to that in a second. So if you work anything up, just that. If you want to go further, maybe this much, but then you're going to have to deal with the whole notes there ringing out. And that would be kind of long, boring, and pointless at the slow speeds, really. So I would just hit that or that. If for whatever reason one of these other positions is more troubling than the other, I would work that part up. So let's say this is coming out fine, but for some reason this is just sounding really, really bad. Well, focus on working that up on its own. So up here, we got the percentage feature. So what you can do, instead of working everything up in fives, I would not work this entire thing up in fives. It would take way too long. Set it, Guitar Pro to 50%. When you can play this entire thing, including the repeat, comfortably at 50%, then do it at 60%. When you can do that comfortably, go to 70%, and so on. Eventually, getting the full 100. So that's the goal, is to be able to play this at 135 all the way through. And we'll have some other speeds on the other two. But that's what we got for number 1 here. Now, as far as the pattern, for all 3 of these, I'm using a type of diminished scale. Something we haven't used, I don't think. But basically, we're taking this and then moving everything down 3 frets, also known as a minor third distance. So everything's going down a step and a half. So we see the high note here is 13. Well, then we move it down to 10. And then we move it down to 7. Then we move it down to 4. And then we come back up. Up 3 notes, or up 3 frets, up 3 frets. And we just repeat all that. So when you're going through this, and you're going from one part to the next, look where your index finger is, and that's where you're going to shift your pinky to. Look where the index finger is, shift your pinky to that. And then when you come here, when you start working your way up, we just got to look ahead 3 frets. So yeah, it's up and down 3 frets at a time, and that's going to be the same thing for all 3 of these. We're going to go basically down 3 frets, down 3 frets, down 3 frets, up, 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 3 frets at a time every single time. Okay. So let's run through this thing here. I'm going to just play it with the metronome so you can hear it nice and clear. So 135 is the goal for number 1. No faster. No faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was terrible. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I remembered something else. So yeah, when you're working your way down, you're going to look at where your index finger is, put the pinky where it needs to go, or where it was. So index finger on 10, when you shift down to the next position, pinky goes to the 10. Now your index finger's on 7, when you shift down, pinky goes to 7. So when you're working your way up, pinky's on the 4 right now, that's where the index finger's going to go. So now I'm looking at where the pinky was, to put the index finger where it needs to be. Pinky's on 7. When I shift up, index finger goes to 7. So little things like that can help you work your way through this a lot more easily. All right, number 2. This is going to be at 165. All right, here we go. 1. And this is a diminished scale because everything moves down and up 3 frets at a time. So everything is basically like the first one, everything goes like, basically all the notes always go like a half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. So if you went from one note to another and it was a half step, well the next one's going to be a whole step, and then the next will be a half, and then a whole, then a half, then a whole, every single time. Anyway, here we go. 165, number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. right, and number 3. This will be 145. And so for the count-in on this, because this is a 3/4 time signature, it's going to sound a little bit different. So numbers 1 and 2, you'll have a hi-hat going like tss, 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 tss. So like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you hear the count-in on this, it's going to have like an open hi-hat and then a closed hi-hat twice. It'll be like tss, 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 tss. So a little bit different there because it's a 3/4 type signature. But here we go. So I'll count off like a 1, 2. Well, I'll count off like the way it'll sound on Guitar Pro for the most part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Went to 7 instead of 9. Take 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, just the open E at the end there. Looks like with the bass, it just sounded like a really good resolve note for the whole thing. All right, so any questions with this? Let me know. As far as like video, you can just play along to the Guitar Pro file at full speed, and that would be fine. You can try doing it with just the metronome. Whatever is easiest for you is good for me. All right, questions? Yes, I already said that, didn't I? I'll say it again. Any questions, let me know. I'll see you again next week.